guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to review Black Widow. Black Widow is set just after the events in Captain America Civil War from 2016, and it's just before the Avengers Infinity War in 2018, so it's between them two films. It's directed by Cate Shortland, screenplay by Pearson, and it stars Scarlett Johansson as Natasha, Florence Pugh as Lenya, David Harbour as Alexei, Rachel Weisz as Melina, and the villains Winstone as Dreykov. It runs 2 hours and 14 minutes, cost 200 million to make, but it's already made 214.5 million back, so it's a really successful film at the moment. The film should have been out last year, but it was held back for COVID. It's one of the first major films to come out since the COVID. There's a lot of films held back. I'm looking forward to the new James Bond film, No Time to Die, which will be out later this year. So finally this film's out. I've been waiting ages for it, similar to the new Bond film, been waiting ages for that. So it's doing successful at the moment, so that's good. Although I enjoyed the film, I've got mixed feelings about it. Scarlett Johansson's always good as Natasha. I thought one of the best things about the film was Florence Pugh. She was really good. Also, I liked her in Midsummer, which gets a lot of criticism, but I thought she was really good in that film. The film starts off quite hard-hitting, where you see Natasha as a young girl, and her and the sister get kidnapped. So I thought that was really like an exciting prologue to the film. Another interesting thing about this film is you got a big poster. Yeah! Everyone was given it at the end of the film. So that was nice. Pretty decent poster as well. Of course, she's alright, that Black Widow. Let us borrow that poster a bit, Phil. Oddly enough, one of the best things about this film was the chemistry between Scarlett Johansson and Florence Pugh. I thought their scenes together were really good. It was quite funny as well, the way they were talking to each other. I liked it when Florence Pugh was taking the mickey out of Scarlett Johansson's character, Natasha, saying she's always posing like that. Thought that was really good.
Why do you always do that thing?
Do what?
The thing you do when you're fighting.
This thing that you do when you whip your hair when you're fighting with the arm and the hair, and you do like a fighting pose. It's a fighting pose. You're a total poser.
You're not a poser.
It's interesting that action sequences vary. When the action sequences are toned down, say like the car chase near the beginning, I thought that was really good. And like fighting between like assassins, that was really good as well, like exciting. It's when the action becomes more comic strip and like overblown, like towards the end it's like a bit ridiculous. The reason is the believability factor lowers, like things that happen to the characters that couldn't like survive. Even though it's a comic strip, you still have to have some believability. Like there's some scenes where they get bashed against walls or fall from great heights. It doesn't really work. It's like too over the top sort of thing. You do have to have some believability in these superhero films these days. You can't just have it like silly. That goes for everything as well, like shows like Doctor Who. Although like people think, well, it's just fantasy, you can do anything. You can't really, you do have to have a bit of believability. David Harbour was funny in this film. I like it when he tries to put on his Red Guardian outfit and he's too fat for it. Thought he was funny in the film. Scarlett Johansson's in loads of brilliant films that I like. I think she's a great actress and she was really good in this one. I like her in all of her other Black Widow films as well. Plenty of other films that in the past I've seen her in. She's really good. I thought she was really good in Jojo Rabbit. That was a good film. There's a really bizarre scene in the film where Natasha's watching a film on the telly. And it turns out it's Moonraker. So she's a fan of watching Roger Moore as James Bond, and the characters even memorising the dialogue in the film Moonraker. But there's a link to that film in this film, because towards the end of this film, Black Widow, there's a scene where she's skydiving and she's got a parachute and she's passing it over to someone, and it's similar to the the pre-title sequence in Moonraker, where Bond's thrown out of an aeroplane and he has to get a parachute off someone. So there's a little link. So really bizarre though, having a clip of Moonraker in the film.
I literally broke off the encounter with my pet python because I discovered he had a crush on me.
So at least she has good tastes in films. Ray Winstone's in, he plays the villain. He was really good as well. Someone who you want to hear it. Hey, that's him who's in them Bet365 adverts. Hope he hasn't put a bloody bet on surviving the fucking film at the end. His character's mind controlling these girls from birth. He's training them to be assassins and he controls them. I like when films feature like controlling people. It's a bit like how the media controls like the public, and like how governments can control people. They're made to believe certain things, and this film's kind of a bit symbolic of that. It's all about controlling what people think. As usual with these films, there's a post-credit scene towards the end, and it's quite relevant. You have to watch it. Only trouble is, I'm starting to get sick of this because you've got to sit through about 5 minutes of bloody credits at the end to watch this relevant scene, like at the end of the film. I can see why they're doing it. They want people to watch like the credits and everything, but it's a bit annoying. Like after you've watched a long film that's over 2 hours, you want to go out, but you've got to sit another 5 minutes to watch like the final scene because you know it's coming up. So it's starting to get a bit of annoying. That it's happening in a lot of recent films as well, not just the Marvel films. So overall, I thought this film was good. It wasn't brilliant though. It's kind of like second league. I thought some of the CGI looked a bit poor at times as well. Some was excellent and some was poor. Some of the action sequences were a bit too far-fetched. But overall, I did enjoy it. Some people are criticising it a lot, but it's not that bad. I'd give it about 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. I do think girls do like it. I thought it was a bit shit here. It was too pro-women, taking the piss out of bloody blokes all the time. Like bloody Doctor Who does at the moment. Everyone, bye. See you next time. Like, subscribe and share. Bye.
It still fits.